really what I want to do is these lunchtime lives. I want to be able to connect with people because the reality is that making content, is one thing, but going live is another thing. And I sometimes feel that I get very lost in the process of making content, overthinking the content. And I find that I'm much more comfortable sometimes having a conversation, with a friend, with a person, and enjoying the process of doing this. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching and for checking in, especially if you're checking post live, right? Now, I know that it might be weird just to suddenly fall into a discussion with regards to some random person who's going live online. But one of the big things I wanted to discuss today is really just what this is about, and to kind of stop and say, hey, here it is. I've been doing this Relationship Revolution channel for quite some time, but I stopped, right? I've had this channel for years and years and years, but I kind of either delete everything or restart everything or stop everything. And recently I did stop all my creation, right, for a very, very long time. And the reason why I actually stopped was because I thought, well, I was going through this overthinking phase, the imposter phase. And for me, this was something that I think often happens to us as human beings, right? When things don't go according to plan. I've always wanted to build a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to kind of be on the space, and I've always wanted to kind of find my way there. But there are so many points at which one gets blocked in this process. And I don't know if you can relate to this as well. And I'm sure you can. A lot of you want to be here. A lot of you want to do this. And so I know I'm not alone in this process. But the thing is that in this process of putting myself up for being here and for creating content, and everything has to be perfect, I know that I really get too deep into the overthinking space, right? I get myself into this thing of like, okay, I need to wear the right clothes. Then I need to have the right lighting. And then I need to have the right script. And then I need to practice the script. And then I start recording it and I don't like it. So when I'm live, I kind of feel like pressure is off because I can't control that. I can't stop that. And so that's why today I'm here putting myself on. I am just having this conversation with you because I want you to know that you're not alone in that feeling or that overthinking mode. And the thing is that I know sometimes a lot of people have a lot of fantastic talents and the abilities to put themselves out there, including myself. But then we get stuck with the thoughts. Those thoughts in your head are the ultimate sort of like negative thing that you should be focusing on, but they also prevent us from progressing. Now, one of the big things for myself that I really have to make peace with is the fact that I try every time to make it perfect, and then I fail, and then I kind of upload it and I don't care about the end product. And again, live prevents me from over controlling anything. Live gives me the opportunity to be me and not to judge me because I get to watch it over and over and over. I have like 20 or 30 videos that I've made in the last couple of years that I've just never posted because I got stuck in the overthinking process, because I don't like the way I look once I go onto the video and I look at the words that I say too many times and do too many times. So yeah, this is my plan. This is my goal, to just be here, to connect, to be on this platform, but in a way that prevents me from getting stuck from starting at all. Now, I'm going to probably post this and leave it up there, and I'm going to start creating lives on a regular basis. My aim is pretty much 2 times a week going live during my lunch break at work, just having a random conversation about a specific topic, a thought sharing, a space. And eventually, I know there will be people coming onto these lives or watching these lives post live and kind of having something to say. So please do feel free to leave a comment or to subscribe, and so that we can join. And I will probably also commit to one night a week at the beginning of going live at night, so that people who are at work who can't watch this can watch it. Now, one of the big things that I wanted to discuss today is this whole process of going into something new, starting with something new, and overthinking it. And it's not just my YouTube, it's life in general that we overthink sometimes. We stop ourselves from having more in life because we get so stuck in the process of the what ifs, the thoughts in our heads. And those thoughts can become absolutely devastating to improvement, to a better future, to a more fulfilling life, because the thoughts are basically us just highlighting all the fears that we have. These are the things that happen to me as well. I find myself sometimes so overwhelmed by the thoughts, which are actually just, when I mirror them and I think about it, they are all actually fear. Okay. And it's the fear of being judged by my friends. I have friends who watch these. I have an ex-girlfriend who probably is going to watch this. I have my parents who are going to see this. I have, and so I think about all of these people and I think to myself, well, you know, this is a good reason not to do that. And that is fear. It's fear of judgment, right? I don't know what your biggest fears are, the things that you're dealing with in life right now, the things that you're probably doing at work, or that one project that you're kind of procrastinating on. The reason for that's usually fear. It's not laziness, it's fear. And the fear of doing it, the pain of getting started is not great enough yet, so we don't do it. But the thing is that I've gotten to a point in my life right now where, thank goodness for the midlife crisis, I'm about to turn 40, and I'm starting to look at my life and I'm starting to assess where I am in my life and what I wanted my life to be 10 years ago. I mean, just for example, this YouTube journey, right? I, 10 years ago, wanted to start a YouTube channel and really just become someone who shares my life and motivates people, and that. I didn't realize it then, but I'm really glad today in a way. I'm sad and I'm glad. I'm sad that I didn't start and just push through, because I probably would have done something. But the thing is that over the years I've been challenged to find a niche. I've been challenged to think. I've been going through more life stuff in the last 10 years, so between 30 and 40, than what I've probably gone through in the last 30 years before that. And a lot happened before that as well. But the point is that if it wasn't for these last 10 years, I don't think I would be sitting here having this live conversation, where it's not about making things look beautiful or making things perfect, and that it's about having a discussion and kind of wanting to rather connect with people than being someone that is is there because of the things I do. And you know what I'm saying? It's more about this interaction than about me just being another face on a platform that people either like or dislike because they do cool stuff or their life is interesting. I've kind of moved away from the shiny version to the real life side of things. And that might not work for everybody, though, and that's okay. I don't mind. I'm just excited about the potential. But this midlife crisis that I'm kind of talking about, and people might laugh and say, midlife crisis. No, there's a genuine crisis that happens. And midlife crisis is really just overthinking. Now, I don't know if there was something like food in my teeth because I just had a quick lunch. I didn't check that either. So if there was something there, I am sorry. It's too late now and the live's been going. So, but midlife crisis, this is literally an overthinking phase, right? In everybody's lives, men go through this. I think women go through something similar at like in their 30s about having children, late 20s, early 30s. I think this thing is like, I want a future, I want a family, or no, I don't want this, and I do, and then people go through this crisis throughout life until they find the answer to whatever it is that they're looking for. But for men, I know that there's this typical thing of going into 40s. And for me, this is something, this overthinking phase, thinking whether or not I've achieved what I should have achieved. Not even that. I mean, I've achieved things that I'm super proud of in my life, but then there's the things that I didn't achieve. And these things are really there. This channel, this space that I'm putting myself in right now, today, is one of those things that I've been putting off and not achieving in, when it was actually just a work that I needed to do over and over and over and over. And if I'd been doing it for the last 10 years, I'd probably have been somewhere. Right now, we're here, starting. Okay. So if ever you're thinking tomorrow or one day, then please stop with the one days and start today. I can tell you 100% that it's absolutely worth it. Now, this process of one day, one day, one day, I like the fact that I was thinking about this the other day. This concept of one day is such uh, it's it's so unfair that we do this to ourselves because one day can be any time undefined in the future, right? And we use this one day as this thing to say that we are going to take action someday in the future. It doesn't matter when, but we will. And in that way, we make ourselves feel comfortable about today, right? One day is undefined and probably is never going to happen until you really put a date. And my new favorite slogan going into my 40th, which is 70 something days away, 78 days away, or yeah, is literally don't wait for Monday. And also don't wait for one day, right? Because that starts now. Life starts today. Life continues today. It's not starting, it continues. And that's the problem. We have this thing of like once I start then. And I remember this. I used to uh, as a kid, I used to be around my mom and her friends and my dad and his friends. And I remember like sitting in a conversation with a group of my parents' friends who were talking about going to the beach. And again, the ladies in the group were talking about, yes, we better start getting fit and all of that so that we can go to the beach. And I thought to myself, I remember thinking to myself as a teenager, like, so you want to get fit so that you can go to the beach, so that you feel comfortable on the beach. So the thing is, like, once we got to the beach on that holiday, there were some people who were uncomfortable and didn't actually go to the beach. And when I asked my mom, I'm like, why so and so not Jans? No, she's a bit shy, you know. And the reality is that this is that one day thing. Eventually, you go through your whole life hoping, thinking that one day, and you're comfortable with the fact that you know you're going to do it, but you just don't know when. But you also never actually feel that you must do it. So, this is what overthinking is, you know, is this process of giving yourself so many options and unlimited time and unlimited ways to solve it, but we don't actually attack the actual situation. And today, you've joined me in attacking the situation, in taking on the first big hurdle. And that's not recording a video. I tried this morning at 6 a.m. to record a video. I sat and then I started editing it till about 7:45 this morning. And then I got to the point where I thought to myself, you know, I don't want to upload this video because it doesn't feel real. I overthought it too much. So for now, you're just going to sit with me and have to deal with the fact that if I'm going to upload something, it's going to be live because then it's there. And I think in my mind, I've overthought YouTube. It feels like it's the next level. I have got platforms on TikTok where I've got almost 10,000 followers. I have a small following on Instagram, but it's just because there's no niche. It's everywhere and everything. And I've never really worked on any of these. I've just kind of put in little bits of effort, and there have always been little bits of reward. But this platform to me has always been something on the next level. It always feels like official. And it's not, it's just another platform where we connect, right? And we have to connect with the right people. So here's me telling myself this, but also telling you this, so that if you're thinking of maybe getting onto this, this is going to be useful for you, maybe. I don't know how many times and how many videos you're going to go through before you actually start taking action. But I also want to kind of encourage you that if you overthink it, you're going to start thinking it today. And you've probably, like me, there's so many people who are now in their 30s, in their 40s, who just haven't actually gotten to that point. So I don't know. I don't know if my microphone is even working, so I didn't check that. So I'm going to do this test, test. Yeah, it does work. I don't know. We'll check it out. I didn't bother to check anything. I literally hit absolute yes to record. And I hope that this was interesting to you. If you're overthinking things, then today's the day to stop and to start living again. Today's the day to change the direction of your life and to really say, well, hey, maybe if I stop overthinking and start living, then life is going to be interesting again. Then life is going to be fun again because it's the action, the stressful action is better than the stressful inactivity, right? The inactivity makes us feel useless. The activity makes us feel hopeful, right? It gives us something to hope with. And in closing, I've also gained a load of weight in the last year. Just life, right? I did this whole YouTube channel a year and a half ago, and my life was totally different to this. And I was very hopeful and full of action at that stage because things were working. And the relationship revolution to me was about a relationship and also my own belief that I was at a place where things were going to start making sense and working. A relationship that I was in ended. It broke my heart. And then I started feeling like this imposter. Okay, I didn't do this. I overthought this channel because I thought, well, now I don't have a relationship, so I can't really talk about relationships. And so it's just been on pause. The reality, however, is that relationships are about communication. I'm an expert in communication. I'm someone who is an expert in helping people have difficult conversations. And I do this every day very, very well. And so we're not just going to talk about relationships in the sense of like, the ones that you are in or not, but we're going to talk about your relationship in within yourself, towards others. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to have fun. We might even do some random episodes where I do upload eventually something interesting and not just some conversation. But for now, I'm going to hit stop, right? And say thank you if you are watching, if you do watch this. And I hope that in this little discussion on overthinking, on reflecting within myself, and especially with about the whole thing of, the midlife crisis, I hope you could see the value in what I'm sharing there and that it helps you. So, with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking in. I wish you an amazing day and till next time, which will be on Monday at lunchtime.